Look, we give a lot of flack to chicken and broccoli recipes on this channel, but truth be told, one of my favorite holiday meals is a broccoli and rice casserole my mom makes. So I thought we'd put our own meal prep spin on it today, so let's jump in how to make it. Let's start by getting some broccoli in the oven. I'm gonna add 680 grams of raw broccoli to a sheet tray here, and I didn't cut this up, this was from a bag, so take some of these bigger chunks, just break them up into more manageable bite-sized pieces if you need to, kind of like I have to do here. But with that good now, I'll hit the broccoli with some oil, and then we'll add 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 to 2 teaspoons of black pepper, and then 1 to 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, and you can use whatever other seasonings you want. Then we'll give this a nice little twirl for no apparent reason, and then we'll place a tray in a 450-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 20 minutes or so, maybe less. Just keep an eye on the broccoli and take it out when it's soft. Right now it's chicken breast time. I've got 850 grams of chicken breast here, which I've just flattened already and put in a bowl. We'll hit this with some olive oil, then we'll toss in 1 ranch seasoning packet, and what a mistake this was. I wanted ranch seasoning on the chicken, so I thought, oh, just add a ranch seasoning packet. It's easy, it's already made. Just had to add it into a bowl, mix it all together. Should be pretty easy, but the seasoning just clumped up immediately, and I think it was the xanthan gum specifically. Someone maybe can educate me on that, but you guys, I would just recommend laying the chicken out flat, pour over the seasoning, and push it into the chicken, and then flip it over into the other side for the chicken. In other words, don't try to rub it in like I was doing here. We'll go ahead and sear these in a cast iron on medium-high heat, and oh yeah, the seasoning burns quicker too, which was the mistake number 2 I didn't plan for. I actually planned on cooking the chicken entirely in the pan, but apparently the chicken had other plans. But it's no big deal. This is actually a good tip if you need it, which is that if you're cooking a chicken breast and the outside is starting to burn a little bit while the inside is still raw, finishing it in the oven will allow you to cook the inside without further burning the outside, which is what I did here. I had mine in the oven with the broccoli at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for probably another 10 minutes or so to finish cooking. With that out of the oven and the chicken now cooked, we'll take it out and put it onto a cutting board to rest, and I'm gonna go ahead and dice it off to the side. But in the same pan here, put the heat on medium, add a little bit more oil, and then we'll toss in 200 grams of diced yellow onion and let that start to sear. And start scraping some of that fond off the bottom of the pan. That's where a lot of flavor is, and then we'll just simply let the onion start to develop some color. When it's where we like it, we'll add in 250 grams of white long grain rice and let that toast for a second as well. And then after a couple minutes of that, now it's time to add in the liquid, for which you can use water, there's no problem with that, but I'm gonna use 500 grams of chicken stock instead, just to give a little bit more flavor, all right? So just let this simmer for however long you need and the rice is cooked through, pretty simple. And after, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, this is what it started to look like, which is starting to look pretty good. We'll add back in our roasted broccoli, which looks nice, and our diced up chicken. Also nice. And then we'll give this a nice little mix in the pan. That is absolutely 100% too small. How many times am I going to make this mistake? Many, many more times, I promise. So once it's mixed up, I'm going to top it with some sharp cheddar cheese, for which I'm using 90 grams. And then we'll hit this with a sprinkle of smoked paprika on the top as well. So now we can go ahead and broil this bad boy. And after about a minute or so, this is what we get. And it looks pretty damn good to me. I'm just saying, now maybe personal bias, but you're gonna have to try it for yourself to see if I'm right or not. But anyways, now we'll prep this in our containers, of course, for which it's a very, very not so complicated procedure of just scooping the broccoli and rice from the pan and putting it in our containers. I think we can all do that. By the way, this is also a solid dinner idea, which brings up a good point. Don't just feel like lunches are meal preppable. I don't actually know if that's a word. You can meal prep dinners too. That's more or less what we do during the week, and it saves a lot of time. So I'd highly recommend it if you can. As usual, here's the ingredient list for the recipe, and I know the website's been down for, I think, 2 months now, so I apologize for that. It'll be up soon though, I promise, and I'm excited to launch what we have, so stay tuned on that. But thanks for watching this video. We'll definitely be back with more.